ain't scared to go for broke.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Cole. I'm a freelance cinematographer and colorist based in Atlanta, Georgia. Today we're gonna be talking about some new cinema lenses I picked up for this year. There's a good amount of mid-range to lower budget cinema lenses out there, and I opted to go with the DZO Arles lenses. I mainly chose these lenses because I really like the images I was seeing online, and I just like the build quality, and from what I heard, these lenses were just amazing and I had to try them out for myself. The camera that I was going to pair these lenses with is the Red Komodo, the OG Red Komodo, and I mainly went with this setup because I was gonna go with the Komodo X, but I decided I could have a little more money on the lens side if I chose this camera. And I really love the image that you get when you combine these two, the Arles Prime and the Red Komodo. You get a really nice, sharp, but yet creamy and almost vintage looking image. It's just a really good combo, the Red Komodo sensor with the Arles Prime. I've already shot around 10 to 15 different jobs with this lens setup, and it has been absolutely amazing. The other really great feature of the Arles Prime is just the build quality. When I handed these lenses to my friend who shoots really high budget music videos, and the first thing he said when he picked up the Arles was, "Bro, this thing is built like a $20,000 lens." That's the first thing he said, and that was pretty much like one of the main reasons that I also got the Arles. That was the second reason behind just the image that they give. They have amazing build quality. To some people, this could be a con because the Arles are such beefy, heavy lenses that they're pretty much going to weigh down your camera. So just know, using these lenses, as soon as you put them on your camera, you're heading towards easy rig or some sort of, you're heading towards a heavier setup on your camera. So my setup, I just leaned into that heavy feeling, and I pretty much just pair it with the Cine Sack, or the camera sack. I forget the brand, but I paired this setup with that because when you're carrying around this setup handheld all day, your arms are going to fall apart. Like, there's no way you can do it. So like I said, the images coming out of the Arles Prime lenses are absolutely amazing. They're pretty sharp, but yet soft and creamy looking at the same time. And the bokeh in the background, it has like a nice painterly, smooth looking look to it. And I really noticed a difference because I shoot a lot on the FX3 with the G Master lens, which is what I'm actually running right now. And I immediately noticed a huge difference between the Arles lens and the G Master. It was just a completely different look. It has more of a creamier, softer look, but it's also sharp in a way, like the G Master at the same time, but not overly sharp where it's just, it looks just too sharp. Another thing that a lot of people don't like, but I actually really like, and that is the coating on the Arles lenses. They have like this warm look to them, and it kind of warms up your footage a little bit, but I found that it looks really natural with skin tones especially. It adds that kind of just warmth to the skin tones, and it ends up just looking really natural to me. A lot of people don't like that it does this because they don't want a lens to be warming up their image, but I actually really prefer this. I really noticed this effect when I did my video where I compared the G Master lenses to the Arles Prime lenses. And what I ended up noticing is the G Master almost has this pinkish purple shift. When I was balancing everything to 5600 Kelvin, the skin tones are almost leaning more pinkish purple, which is super strange. And then as soon as I put the Arles Prime lens on, it almost had this natural warmth to the skin tones where it was already sitting right around the skin tone line, and it ended up just looking way better to me. And I didn't really notice this was happening with the G Master until I actually compared it to the Arles. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. I'll try to link that in the description if I can remember to do that. And you can really just see the difference. I thought it might have been crazy noticing this pink magenta shift, but then I saw Marcus Graham, another creator, he made a video about the Arles Prime, and I was watching that, and pretty much the same thing happened to him. Like, I was looking at the G Master footage and the Arles looked much more natural and warm. And then when I was looking at the G Master footage that he did, it almost had this pink weird shift, and it was like colors in the background didn't look how they were supposed to look naturally. But on the Arles, to me, it looked way more natural. So this wasn't a super scientific test, but it is what I noticed when I saw his footage, and then when I tested it as well, I also noticed this with the G Master lens. I actually picked up 2 of these Arles Prime lenses. I went with the 35 and the 75 lens, and I felt like this was a good pair. If you're not sure which one to go with, it kind of just depends on what kind of shooter you are. And I opted to go for the 35 because it's that perfect mid-range focal length where it's wide enough to get like some wider shots if you need it, but then also tight enough where you can kind of get a little closer to your subject and still get that 50mm kind of vibe. And then I went for the 75 to get the more detailed shots, to get the tighter shots and maybe some like profile, almost like an 85 kind of look, just for the tighter shots. And I found those pair of lenses look awesome together. And the only thing I do want is maybe to get the 21 or the 14 Arles to complete my set and have about 3 of them. So that way I'll be fully ready for any job that comes my way. DZO, if you're listening, you should send me the 21 or the 14 Arles Prime. That would be greatly appreciated. This video is sponsored in no way by DZO. I bought both of these lenses with my own money, so yeah, just throwing that out there. So that is pretty much gonna do it for this video about the Arles Prime. Before I go, I wanted to mention, if you are someone who is looking to level up your cinematography or editing and you wanna learn DaVinci Resolve, I have just finished making a course that's gonna teach you everything about DaVinci Resolve, teach you how to color grade, and yeah, go ahead and check that down in the link below. That's gonna do it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.